Yes, indeed, it's time for Mark Meets, in which I speak to the biggest names in the world of politics, showbiz, sport, business and beyond. Tonight, journalist, model, TV presenter and fitness guru, the green goddess herself, Diana Moran. In the 60s and the 70s, Diana was a print and catwalk model as well as TV newsreader. She achieved national treasure status as host of the now iconic exercise segment of BBC One's Breakfast Time programme. I break out in a sweat just thinking about it. In 1988, Diana was diagnosed with breast cancer and has since become a breast cancer advocate for the breast cancer campaign and other breast cancer charities. Notwithstanding her impressive vintage, but it's just a number, folks, she recently told the Daily Express newspaper that sex gets better with age. Here's hoping. Well, the eternally youthful Diana Moran certainly gets better with age herself, and she joins me now. Hi, Diana.
Hello, Mark.
It's great to see you. Have you always been interested in fitness?
Always. I was a very long-legged youngster in the West Country.
I know the feeling.
And yes.
A blessing and a curse.
Does everybody know how tall you are? 6'5".
Here are the legs. Look at that.
And I had brothers and boy cousins, just a little bit older than me, but anything they could do, I thought I could do as well. And so I was very competitive and very sporty from a very early age.
And you were a model and a news broadcaster and then a TV presenter. Was any of this planned?
None of it was planned. I was actually, what you haven't mentioned, I was actually a personnel and welfare officer.
So, well, that's interesting.
That was my career.
That was your actual career.
Yes.
So how did you get your break into broadcasting?
Strange things happen. Where I was doing my personnel and welfare work was a very large department store in the West Country. And one day they were going to do a very prestigious fashion show, and one of the buyers said, "Hey, you with your long legs, you can be one of our models." I was seen by HTV, my station back west, and I then started working for them, making commercials and programmes and things. Then I had a throat operation, a partial thyroidectomy, had to go out of vision. But my friend, as she now is, Kate Adie,
oh yes,
the broadcaster,
amazing war correspondent,
had just come back from university, starting at BBC Radio Bristol, and she said, "Come on, come and be one of my contributors." And that's how I really got into broadcasting.
So you had a throat operation and you had a scar, which is why you couldn't be in vision.
Exactly, yes.
I see. And you clearly recovered from that procedure.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and then the scar went and eventually you were in vision. How did that gig on BBC Breakfast Time come about?
Well, by then, HTV, or TWW, Television Wales and the West, I was working with them, working with Radio Bristol as well, both on part-time. And then HTV said, "We want to do some afternoon programmes," very new at the time. "We know that you're interested in clothes and women issues and things like that. Why don't you also do, because we know that you go to Butlins on a Thursday afternoon to do Keep Fit with all the holiday mates, why don't you come and do some of that on the programme?" I did that for 3 years. Let me just tell you, though, I said to them, "What do you want me to wear? The red?" And they said, "Can't do Butlins on..." No. They said, what? So I came to London and I found yellow. That's my favourite colour, yellow.
Oh, that's convenient.
I came off air and the first time and they said, "Diana, you can't wear that again. You look like a large prancing canary."
Oh dear.
So I went back.
Like Big Bird from Sesame Street.
Yes, exactly, all of that. So I went back and I got coffee colour, very elegant. I came off air the second time. They said, "You definitely can't wear that. You look naked on screen. What other colour is there?" And I said, "There's this terrible green."
Yeah.
And that was it. And then, of course, the BBC pinched me from that programme. And they went back to HTV and they said, "Yeah, dish the dirt on this bird." And the press office said, "Oh, that's Diana, our goddess, our green goddess." That was it.
That was it. You had your moniker. And how did it change your life appearing on breakfast TV at that time? Because breakfast TV in the 80s was massive, wasn't it?
It was huge. And of course, we were the first station to go on air.
Yeah.
There was this race as to who's going to go on first. Frank Boff, Selena Scott.
Brilliant. What a double act.
Oh, it was just wonderful. And I said to them, look, I live in the West Country. I can't come up to London every day. They said, don't worry, darling. We'll record you on a Sunday at the BBC in Bristol. I never, ever recorded there. The first day they had me at Waterloo Station, coming in sort of poised on the front of a train, coming into the station, and it just took off. And I went everywhere. I was with the Army, the Navy, old people in care homes, little children at school. It was wonderful, and it totally changed my life.
Indeed, and you've always embodied the message about health and fitness, which is a message that couldn't be more important in 2022.
Oh, right.
And I've got to say, it's sad to say, isn't it, that as a nation, we're not in great shape, are we?
Not at all.
Things haven't improved since the 80s.
Do you know, I came back, I live somewhere near Staines, and I had been there this morning. And as I was driving home, I honestly think probably every sixth person was rather a large person. And I thought to myself, my message, get Britain fit, obviously didn't get through.
Yeah, what do you think's happened?
Fast food.
Yeah.
And a rather more lazy way of living. I mean, for example, I was brought up in the country. We walked to school over the fields every day in our Wellington boots. Mum and Dad didn't have cars to take us here, there and everywhere. And what we wanted to do when we'd finished school was to play. I was up with my brothers up the trees, in and out of little lakes and things like this, jumping around
Swamps.
all the time, yes, and eating good food. Scones with the jam first.
Jam first, then double cream, clotted cream.
Absolutely, yes, yes.
And you look incredible. You're a stunningly beautiful woman, still the green goddess. Am I allowed to even hint to our audience your age?
I've got a birthday next Saturday.
Shall we just say that it's got the word 8 in it?
It's more than that.
Yeah, and that's remarkable.
It's got a 3 in it as well.
So you're going to be 83?
Yes, yes.
You look 60?
Oh, I like it.
What's your secret?
Being fairly energetic and enthusiastic. And if my 2 sons are watching, they'll be laughing because they're in their 60s.
Well, there you go. Well, look, you probably make them look old, frankly, by comparison. You did have a brush with ill health.
Oh, I certainly did.
In the 80s, breast cancer. Thank God you survived it. Tell us about the moment you received that diagnosis. Devastating.
I was working with Breakfast Time and somebody medically inclined said to me, would I be a guinea pig for trials for HRT, hormone replacement therapy, that was just coming in from the UK, from the US.
Yeah.
And I said, oh yes, I'm as fit as a fiddle, I can do that. I went to have the necessary checks and I said, oh, I don't need checking, I'm really, really fit. And they said, yes, you do. One of the checks was a mammogram. And they rang me a couple of days later and they said, we think you might have moved. And of course, I hadn't moved. And when I went back, they said, you actually have breast cancer, and in both breasts as well.
A devastating diagnosis. And of course, the prognosis was not as optimistic as it would be now.
No.
Because cancer treatment is phenomenal. I think over 50% of cancer diagnoses can be resolved and send you into remission.
Yeah.
In the 80s, a different story.
It was a different story, but I was fortunate in that working in London, they had sent me to a London hospital, and the Royal Marsden Hospital I cannot speak well enough of, the cancer hospital, and I had excellent attention.
And you're still with us to tell the story. 2 things. Will you join us on the panel on a future occasion?
Oh, I'd love to. I'd be delighted.
Because we'd love to get your opinions.
I am opinionated.
Well, yes, and you're allowed to have an opinion because you're not at the Beeb anymore.
Okay, I see, all right.
So you've been uncensored. And I look forward to that. We must welcome you back. So Tom will arrange that straight after the show. And the other question is, what is next for you? You've got a big birthday coming up, but you're still in broadcasting. You're still a fitness guru. So what's next? What do you want to do next?
What I want to do is something you don't know about. I'm a painter. I'm an avid painter, and COVID was brilliant for me. It did two things. First of all, the BBC said, Diana, can you not come back, but can you get into your conservatory and can you start making Keep Fit videos, which I did.
Brilliant.
The care homes then said, would you do one for our care home? Would you do one for somebody else? But it also gave me time to get the easel out, to get my paints out. I've done about 100 paintings through COVID, big ones.
And what's your style? Are you an impressionist or do you do almost photographic style?
No. I'm more of an impressionist. If I can sit outside, then it's a very impressionistic. But equally, I do animals, birds, dogs, cats, and love doing things.
So that's your great calling.
Oh, I love it.
Do you sell any of your work?
Ask my agent.
Yeah, we should do that. Is there a website or anything like that?
There is a website.
Oh, what's the website?
www.goddessart.co.uk.
You heard it here first, goddessart.co.uk. Check it out. A quick word, the clock's against us, but we've got you booked in now, all committed, because it's a verbal contract, to join us on the panel. A quick word on the Queen. She's, well, you're like a little girl next to her, age-wise. But what is your verdict on this lady, 7 decades on the throne?
Exemplary. Fantastic. And the photographs that have been coming out in the last couple of days, she looks so happy, doesn't she?
She really does. She's beaming.
She's got her family around her. She's relaxed. Quite right that she doesn't physically have to go to everything now. Yeah. My goodness me, what an effort that must be for her. But she's loving it. Yeah. Loving meeting her family again and the general public.
Getting that recognition she so deserves.
Oh, she certainly does.
Well, from the Queen of the United Kingdom to the Queen of Fitness and Showbiz, it's been great to have you, Diana Moran.
Mark, I've really enjoyed it.
Yes,
Thank you.
Can't wait to get you back in the studio to hear those opinions, of which there are many, many. Thanks to Diana Moran. Lots more to come. In fact, we're going to focus on the